off to Ratanachai or Ratanachai, or however the hell you're supposed to pronounce it. Hauling out for the first time in 2 years.
G'day legends and welcome back to another episode. This week we haul out Excelsior to complete some much needed repairs and upgrades. This episode's a bit of a long one, so sit back, relax and enjoy. And just a heads up, there is a bit of coarse language during this episode. Sorry about that.
So I said, hey, don't you wanna come and run away with me? Hey, won't you come, and say by chance, don't you want me, a man who fully understands a sailor's heart, a sailor's heart.
Hauling out for the first time in 2 years. We're looking forward to it, I guess, like getting some new antifoul on the boat. The antifoul we've got just has not worked at all. It's too much wind out here. So you probably saw the video where we put it all on, the Micron International Micron 2. Dreadful, absolutely useless in tropical waters. Within a month of being in Indonesia, we had growth that was pretty much uncontrollable. So for the last 12 months, I've been scrubbing the boat every 2 weeks to a month, which has been a bit of a shit fight. So anyway, it is what it is. We're trying a new antifoul now. The local mix called Chagoku. They pretty much rave about it in tropical waters, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we're about an hour away now from Ratanachai here in Phuket. We haven't been doing much filming lately because we had a, what is it, third or fourth GoPro fail on us? Yeah, so we've only just got it back. My dad brought it over to us from Australia, so hopefully this one lasts a little bit longer than the last few. We were going to swap over to an Insta360, but it was just too bloody expensive, and we got a credit on the last GoPro that failed as well. So here we go again, GoPro 12. We'll see if it's worth its weight in gold.
You're going to help us work when we haul out, aren't you? Yeah, sure you are. So did you just radio them before you came in or not?
There's no VHF. I had no idea what to do when I got here. There's like 20 dudes all waving different directions at me, and I just brought it in.
Ratanachai Shipyard, located on the southern tip of Phuket, was one of very few yards in Thailand actually able to haul out Excelsior due to a nearly 8.5 metre beam. Using a railcar system and drum winches, they had her high and dry in no time.
See the diver? Watch this guy, he's just on a hose. You've got to put a mask on and just go straight under.
Oh my goodness.
See how they're doing it. They've got a big diesel engine just sitting in here. It says a big steel cable that runs forward, goes all the way out to a dolly, and then comes back under. And then they've got the rail car sitting under the boat right now. So that's just going to like slowly drag us up.
And they just made that rail car specifically for
right there. Yeah.
After the measurements were taken, the divers literally built this cradle underwater to suit Excelsior's hulls and keels. Then very slowly and carefully they winched her out of the water precariously between other ships and yachts, to her final spot on the yard wedged between some more commercial vessels. It was a pretty nerve-wracking experience, especially as we hadn't seen it done this way before, but in the end it was extremely smooth and put the least amount of pressure on the boat of any haul-out we've done before.
This is mental. Feel really high up, hey?
We are high up. I don't know how we're going to polish the bloody thing.
Yeah. I hope the scaffold's included.
It's kind of insane how high it is.
Yeah.
Considering like these things are designed to just sit on blocks on the ground.
Yeah.
The scaffold they've built underneath is about bloody 1.5 meters, 2 meters off the ground.
Insane.
Hey, big guy.
Not long after, the yardies were quick to get to pressure washing the hulls while we headed up the road to check into our accommodation for the next 2 weeks.
Pretty nice little joint, isn't it?
Pretty schmick, isn't it? Considering how much it cost, like it was pretty bloody cheap.
The next morning we were on the scooter, headed for the yard to start the huge job ahead of us.
We're off to the boatyard.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Can't wait. Woo.
Thanks, mate. Have a good day. No one has a good day when they're bloody doing boat work.
Nope. There she is. Salsa.
First up was the tedious job of disassembling the sail drives to replace the shaft seals and the filthy sail drive oil.
I am so glad we've done this. So glad. That is a dreadful colour.
So we took the props off yesterday, we taped them up so there's lines that don't get any dust or debris.
You may remember not long before we left Australia, we had a minor run-in with a rock while doing 9 knots under sail, ripping a small chunk clean out of the bottom of the rudder. Well, now was our moment to cut the damage off and begin rebuilding the bottom edge. And surprisingly, there was little to no water ingress to the foam core. Unbelievably, the Aqua Need underwater epoxy held for nearly 2 years, keeping our rudder intact and water out until we could haul out and complete the repairs. A quick phone call to our mates Steve and Deb back home to chat about the best way to repair the rudder, and we're away, shaping and moulding the new foam to suit. Thanks again for the advice, Steve, you bloody legend.
As you may remember, a little while back we took out a big chunk of reef and had to patch the rudder with some underwater epoxy. Now that shit held on for such a long time. I think I've said it in previous videos. It really held on for a long time. We got a couple of bits of foam. We glued them together, resined them together, epoxy resin, and then glued them to the base of the rudder where we actually cut it off. Now fortunately, it was perfect. It was so dry, so we got really lucky there, so it made the repair quite easy. What we have done is glued that one up, and then I shaped it this morning. So that's actually 2 pieces of foam resin together, not too dissimilar to a surfboard. So what I did was just glued them up under there last night, let it set overnight, and then this morning I shaped it down, And then Sarah and I just put 3 layers of fiberglass. Ignore this shit hanging off. Once that goes really, once it starts going hard, we can just come along and trim that, cut it, and then it'll just be as simple as sanding it all back, including the little rip marks underneath. So yeah, we're really pretty happy with that. That's actually 3 coats of fiberglass on there, which should be unbelievably strong. So yeah, we're kicking goals at the moment. We got the sail drives. I've replaced the seals, pulled the gearbox out and replaced the seals on that and put them back together. Brand new anodes on. This is all sanded and prepped, ready to go.
Getting the hull all prepped for paint. Looking good. Our rudder repair came up sweet. It's nice and smooth. Sanded it this morning. Nice and strong. What's going on, love?
Fucking snake has climbed into our boat.
Do you reckon we got it here in the yard?
Yeah. I'd say so. I have no idea where the little bastard is. He's not happy. Finally got the little bastard.
Show me his body.
I don't actually know what that is.
Nah, he's one of those tree snakes.
I think so. I went to open, you know, our cupboard behind the sink in the bathroom. I opened it and it just went boom straight out, and it sort of hit me and then fell into the sink. And because the sink's stainless now, it was too slippery for him to get out. Man, look at him. Oh man.
What are you gonna do with him?
I don't know. Go and put him in a tree, I guess.
I don't know.
Alright. Throw him. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, guys. You got a little bit of stuff on you.
So I just told him, I said he looks like a homeless smurf.
How did you get that blue?
He was working on the hull all day. On the tape off, so.
I was working hard, not hardly working.
That's a nice change.
Fortunately for us, just around the corner from our apartment was a little restaurant called Mama Noi's. And Mama Noi happened to make the most amazing Thai cuisine, which had us coming back night after night for more. If you're watching, thank you so much, Mama. We miss you and your amazing food.
So we made a little bit of progress today. We had to bloody cut new through holes because one of the previous owners, I'm not sure who, put brass through holes through for our water intakes and didn't quite fit the hose he wanted, so he just put a stainless steel joiner in between and then another bit of brass and then some copper above, so he had 3 dissimilar metals, and it basically just, it turned black, it went bad, the handle snapped off. You just can't do that shit, and it's a no-brainer either as well, especially for something that's below waterline. So anyway, we've had to cut new holes. It's never nice cutting a hole in your boat, but we've cut some new holes in there and got some brand spanking new brass through holes and some ball valves that are real pretty. So I'm gonna put that in. Sarah's been working her butt off to get rid of this. You might remember we had this stupid blue line all the way around the side of the boat, which, you know, it didn't look too bad. It was kind of pretty, but what we ended up with was this green shit that just grew above the waterline. So that was the old waterline there, but the water actually came to here. And unless you're sitting in a glass lake, typically the water's doing this, right? So all we had all the time was water lapping up against this bit of 2-pack here. Sorry about swearing. So what we've decided to do is we've taken the blue line off, and Sarah's taped off. You can see where she's done it here. She's taped off there. We're actually going to raise our water line to that mark there, and we're going to put our antifoul, our Chogoku antifoul, up, and then we're actually going to try and do 2 layers of Trilux 33, which is typically for like metal antifoul on metal points. But what we're actually, the properties of it though means it's actually a lot more resistant to sun. So what you might notice, some of the boats, the paint above the waterline actually ends up just cracking and flaking off because of the sun. So we're going to try the Trilux up there in the hopes that its resistance and UV resistance will actually stop it from cracking and flaking off. So fingers crossed, we'll see how that goes. Are you feeling lovely?
I feel like we're making progress today.
Yeah, we are. We're definitely making progress.
Laying down on the job. It's been a very big day today.
I'm exhausted.
A more successful day at least.
It's been a ripper. Absolute ripper.
Where'd you get that soda?
Huh? All the locals here keep buying us shit. One dude turned up with bananas yesterday. We keep getting presents from all the workers on all the boats. And one guy came past yesterday and he's like, "Captain?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Your boat?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, No, Captain, your boat, you go home, you pay, we work. I'm like, "No, man, we don't have any money." And they're like, "Good." And then they came back with bananas later, and all the workers have been going past and like,
they all feel sorry for the broke Aussies. But I think we're gaining a little bit of respect.
I think so, definitely.
How many men does it take to plug a hole?
That's a loaded question, that one, love.
That's how tight it is.
Jesus.
We've got our mate Iain giving us a hand. Ew.
Well, so you go up this, so then you just put a bead around here, and then put this on, and I'll pretty much shout when it's taken up enough, because I can tell. Because we don't want to squeeze too much of it out here. Then we wait a little while, and then we tighten up.
But not until it dries. You wait till it sort of almost goes tacky, right?
Yeah, not fully dry, yeah.
You don't want to break the seal. Yeah.
That's it.
All right, well, how about we go over there, I'll spooge it on, you put it in position, I'll take this shit up top and do that, and then we'll do the same for the second one.
It's your favourite job, isn't it, Brendo?
Jesus. I hate Sika.
I reckon you're like, no.
Alright. Finger it in the hole.
In your endo. Alright, you got the nut?
Alright, I'm heading up.
Oh, I should have somewhere in this as well.
Hello. It's been a bloody big day at the boatyard. Got a lot done again today. Got the boat all cleaned up, ready for paint, ready for polish. Hopefully the next step all goes well. So more tiring work to continue, but she'll be schmick when we get her in the water. I'm exhausted.
This is half the fucking battle in this joint. You spend 3/4 of your day climbing over this bullshit.
And over and under and
you can't get
down
anything
and
fucking
up
done.
and down and up.
This yard has been a bit of a mistake.
But it was one of the only yards we could haul
It's
out
the
at.
only yard that we can haul out in that can
Yeah.
actually lift us from the keels like this. But it is a fucking nightmare. That big steel boat has just covered us in sanding dust, which is all steel. So there's just going to be these tiny little rust spots all over our boat. They don't clean. You cannot access your boat. Like every time we build a fucking rung of scaffolding like this, I guarantee you tomorrow we'll come back, that'll be gone.
Yeah.
Someone will fucking steal it on us.
And it's a long way up into the boat if you need anything. We're so high up out of the water that it's just,
You can't work on the boat.
it's really difficult. Like we need to be 6 foot above the ground.
Yeah.
So we can reach the boat.
Like it's
And it's quite scary when you're not used to
Well, and
heights and
like
walking on
all this
rickety
timber,
planks.
It's all cracked, it's all rooted.
Like these These are the planks
That's
that
the
we're
thing though, you know, like
walking on.
we're in Thailand, right? So there's no health and safety. And like we knew that, we know that shit. Like, and we know they're not going to have state-of-the-art scaffolding. We get that. It's just accessing stuff. And I say to the owner, I'm like, mate, we've got scaff there for tomorrow for work.
Yeah.
Yep, no worries. Come back, it's gone.
Yeah.
And then we can't get what we need to get achieved.
Couldn't get water
We
today.
couldn't get water, and the hose they give you is like a fire hose. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? You can't connect the gurney to it. You can't connect the nozzle to it. And they charge us for water usage, and it's literally from a fire hose. I'm like, man, I'm not paying for that fucking water.
Yeah.
It's, I know it's Thailand. I know it's Thailand, right? But this is a fucking nightmare. Compared to the boatworks on the Gold Coast, I think that kind of is a little too good, right?
Lulled us into a false sense of security.
That's for like rich people who, you know, they'll complain if they stub their toe on a crack in the concrete, where it's just immaculate and so safe and so well thought out and set up. And you come to places like this and you're like, yeah, it's cheap, it's sick. It's not. Spend the money, go somewhere
It
decent.
stinks like rotten fish.
Anyway.
Oh yeah. Rocking the sperm suit.
Because it's not hot enough here in Thailand. I'll just put this on and
You've already
ensure.
ripped it.
Yeah, I know.
Cracking along with the undercoat.
Oh,
It's quite
mate.
pretty.
Yeah.
Silver.
It is so fucking hot in this thing, babe. I think I'd probably prefer just to get covered in paint.
Moderately moist in there.
Oh, you got no idea. I'm stewing.
It's a shame we can't keep it that colour.
I know, right? After all that.
Silver. Early knockoff today. Yay! Woo. We smashed out heaps of work. Got all the primer on. Ready for anti-fouling tomorrow. And then we're pretty much good to go. You.
I can't put mine on. There we go. Fucking holes everywhere. They're quality.
Been getting dressed on.
Oh, mate.
You. Painting day, anti-foul day, primer's on, and we are good to go.
Did we take
Just a little spot towards the front here. First coat on. Woo! Looking good.
You got enough in that roll to do it? I can see up your skirt.
Down the skirt. Oh, my arms are getting tired.
Easy. I go forward from there. You don't realise how big this boat is until you got to paint it all, eh?
Yep. Don't realise how much you miss monos.
Oh, yeah. It's the only time I want to go back to one hull. Even then, I don't know if it's worth it. No champagne spills at our table on anchor. Come on, close it over. You got this. You can do it. You can do it. You got this. Come on. Come on. Oh, there it goes. Oh, that's so soothing. Is it soothing? Therapeutic? I don't know what the word is. Awesome. Orgasmic.
You happy, boss?
Yeah, I am actually. I think we did a pretty good job fairing. Like, it took us, what, 4 days of filling and sanding and filling and sanding, but I think it was worth it.
Yeah.
The finish is immaculate. She's going to be at least 2 knots quicker.
Yeah. Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance,
I know.
Brendo.
She's going to be fast.
Yeah.
I reckon we're going to have time to give her a little polish.
Yeah. Just don't want to mess up our beautiful bottom.
Nah, I can't do that with polish. She'll be a weapon now. Good luck anyone catching us.
No one's following us.
No haul out would be complete without a few hiccups, and one of them came in the form of outsourcing a small job to YRC Marine in Phuket to replace the rings on the sail drive. An easy enough job if you have the equipment. Unfortunately, one of the seals was damaged during the replacement. A $10 part that this company refused to replace, ending in some of the worst customer service we've ever experienced. They eventually replaced the part, but not without giving us a fair mouthful of abuse in the process.
Take the brake one out and put the good one in. How we gonna let it go with the brake O-ring, right?
I gave you good ones.
When you say we are professional, right?
Yeah, I am.
So we won't keep you with the brake O-ring.
Listen, I'm not leaving until I get a new O-ring, okay? I want a new O-ring.
You pay for that.
We already paid for brand new Volvo.
I paid for new Volvo parts. I paid for you guys to do this. I paid for you guys to do this, okay? Now, the other one, I had two, yeah? It went in, no worries. No worries.
It's not the way he installed it.
This is not the first time we've installed these things.
คือตอนอัดถ้ามันขาดถ้ารู้เรารู้ว่าอัด
I knew this would happen. I knew he'd say you broke it putting it in.
ใช่แล้วตอนคุณไปแกะไอซีนออกใช่ไหมคุณไปใส่
You couldn't possibly break it
What
putting
they
it
said
in.
is they said, oh, we need to install it because they charge a fucking fortune.
Yeah.
Absolute fortune.
Yeah.
เมื่อกี้ที่คุยโทรศัพท์
They charged me $190 just to replace the seals.
Yeah. Just to put them in. And you supplied the parts. Brand new anodes, brand new seals. You're thinking of coming to Volvo Penta in Phuket?
YRC Marine Engineering in Phuket. Stay as far away as possible. They are absolute crooks. A quick 2-minute job to reinstall the shaft when we got back, topped it up with oil, and all was well in the world of sail drives again. Definitely a few whoopsies in there by me, which we'll have to sort out later, but one of the best parts about any sailing. That would be me. I'm not a painter. There's a couple of little whoopsies there, but I know you can clean them, so you got this, babe. We're ready to go. Look at Broads. We have just been invited, well not just been, we got invited yesterday. This hat's too small for me, I think. That's why my face is red, it's squeezing my brain down through my nose. We've just been invited to the Ratanachai Boatyard Christmas party. The manager, Iain, came up and said, oh, you guys should come to the Christmas party. Like, oh no, it's all right, buddy, we splashed the next. He goes, no, you really need to come, you need to see how Thais party. He goes, it's the end of the year break up for the entire yard for all the workers, and we're putting on free beer, free food, everything, and you need to see how Thai people party. So we're like, sure, why not? So Sarah completely dressed right up. This should be interesting. We'll see how it goes. Just gonna go downstairs and grab a Bolt, which is their version of Uber here, and head out to the yard. So yeah, let's see what this goes. See how this goes. I've already had a couple of beers. No one's wearing Christmas decorations.
Yay!
Just us wankers.
If we didn't, you could guarantee everyone would be.
This is as comfortable and this is as in the spotlight.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's just hitting you.
Oh, look at what's this? Fucking Hong
ครั้งแรกพาน้ำตกบูสต์ผิวกระชับจากยูเซรินใหม่ Radiance Lift Boosting Essence ด้วย3พลังบูสต์ผิวดูกระชับและอิ่มฟูแบบเอ็กซ์ตร้ารู้สึกฟู
Cheers. Good luck. Cheers. Good luck. Happy New Year. Morning, it's splash day here at Ratanachai in southern Phuket. We're a little bit nervous.
No.
No, we're fine, she reckons. I'm nervous. The boat's in pretty good shape. We've worked pretty hard on the old girl over the last 2 weeks. My only concerns are just that we put brand new through hulls in. That's always nerve-wracking for sailors when you go back in the water and you've done new skin fittings. For those who don't know, skin fittings are one of these. So this is essentially what you do is you just drill a hole in your boat and you put these brass fittings through, and then there's a nut that comes down on the other side. You load them up with Sikaflex 291, which is a marine grade, and just hope that you've done it right. Otherwise water comes in, they have to lift your boat out of the fucking water again. So I'm pretty sure we'll be okay, but I still just, it fills me with so much anxiety. And the other thing I did, which you would have seen in that earlier video, was that I changed the seals in the saildrives on the prop shafts. So that's another big fear for me, because you know, this is something that won't show its head for quite a while after. This is the housing here, which is what you remove, and then you got a shaft that goes into a spline. Anyway, replaced 2 brand new seals there and some O-rings. So if they haven't seated correctly either, that one's bad, because what you end up with is salt water going into your saildrive. Well, you got these beautifully machined splines in there, and it mixes with the oil and becomes milky, and it's just a headache as well. So we did both of those. We did 2 through hulls at the front, so I've got 2 saildrives that I'm hoping don't leak and 2 through hulls that I'm hoping don't leak. So here goes nothing. I'll show you real quick how they actually get us in and out of the water. So this is the cradle that they've actually got us mounted on, which has actually been a bit of a fucking nightmare to work around. Oh, and it just leaves the boat so high out of the water, you know, like you look at Sarah there, to try and get up there and paint and all that's just been a nightmare, and get around the cradle. So it is what it is. We're not going to complain. I'll just bitch in a moment. So this is what they do. It's essentially a big block and pulley system. So the cradle's obviously on these big railway tracks that you can see. Had too many beers last night at the Christmas party. And that's it. It's essentially just a massive big winch. So they got the I don't know, whatever you call it there, the base where it starts from, comes into that big pulley there, goes into another big pulley over there, and then all the way back here to these enormous big drums, big electric winches. They are friggin' huge, and if you'd seen the size of some of the ships that they haul out here, it's pretty bloody impressive. That cable's pretty serious on its own. I'll walk over there. I'll speed this up, this walk. So this is the huge big drum winch right here. Absolute monster. And that big diesel engine in the background is what runs it, and you can hear this thing crank up. It's a weapon. I love it. So yeah, big diesel engine there for electricity, and then this is obviously a big electric winch. And that's what's gonna basically lower us into the water today. Some very impressive gear. And then these boys have even got these enormous big drum lines out here that they use to cleat us off and hold us steady, to make sure that we don't bash around in the rubbish too much. Anyway, it is what it is. let's go get it done. I think these boys are ready to go. I know for a fact that there's some sore heads over there because I saw 2 of the winch operators dancing last night. That was just fantastic. We had the time of our lives last night. So if Iain, you're watching, mate, thank you so much for inviting us. It meant a lot. You Thais certainly know how to party, that's for sure. Come on, Excelsior, let's do this. I don't know how I feel about them taking the chocks away before we're in the water. I guess they have to. I mean, I didn't see whether they put them in after we got out. They did? Right, okay. Still makes me a little nervous. Really nervous, actually. Oh, it's not that. It's, you know, it's going down a big ramp like that. I'd much rather that it was completely stable the whole way down. That kind of scares me.
Go time.
Oh, my heart is just...
She'll be fine.
Feels sick.
She'll be fine. Trust yourself.
I know. It's just, it's, you know what it is? It's one of those things where with the through hulls, I've never done a through hull before. I've done jobs before, I know I've got them, right? But I've never done this one before, so it's got me anxiety.
Oh, it's nerve-wracking. Oh, my ears. Hold on, big girl.
Water coming in.
Oh no.
Not through the through hull. I forgot to do up the hose clamps on the new fitting. So that's my bad. I've got to get it done up though so I can actually see.
So through hull's good?
Yeah, the through hull's good, but I think the hose, it's just been stretched and shrunk and stretched and shrunk so many times that it just, even with the hose clamps really, really tight, it wasn't binding. And it was leaking, which scared the shit out of me, but I think it's actually just leaking from where the hose joins onto the valve.
Yeah.
So what I've done is I've just taken off the top portion, the end of the hose, just to renew it. I've got a little bit of wiggle room here to play with, so I'll heat this up. The good thing is right now the ball valve's off and there's no water coming in. Right, that's where our concern is. This is not a big problem. This is okay to deal with.
Oh, that's hot.
Very hot.
You're burning the hose.
Huh?
You're burning the hose.
Imagine what it's like holding onto the hose. I think in all honesty this hose probably needs replacing. So that might be something I'll do. Yeah, I might do that before we even leave the area. Go get a new one. I'll just get this in there for now and make sure everything's okay. Okay. It's probably a little bit too much, but I'm gonna get it on, get it all the way to the end. Right, there we go. If you haven't got a heat gun on your boat, get one. Because trying to remove these hoses and work with this shit without a heat gun is just a living nightmare. Right, where's the top of the barb? There it is. As usual, there's no room to work on anything. Typically you only get one hand on shit on a boat.
It's gonna be a contortion.
Not a drop on this side.
This was the side you were worried about.
Yep. Oh, no, it was the other side. This one we did quite well. I didn't take them out, but I was messing with the valve, so.
What about the longer it's all good?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Nice plumber's crack, mate.
Thanks, mate. Sweat's just fucking dripping off, eh? It's so hot.
To the window, to the wall. Very good. And we're leaving the shipyard. And it's peak hour. How do you feel, big boss?
Still riddled with anxiety. You can tell the hull's clean. We're sort of at half RPM. We're doing 7 knots.
Jeez.
Might be a bit of current. This is fucking pandemonium here.
Isn't it what? How's that clean bum feeling? Doing 7 knots just with our head sail out.